Yeah, it's going.
Hello everybody, I'm just going to show you around our room. This is what a room looks like when you're getting ready for the Ironman. So, hello Mike.
Hi.
Could you tell us what we're looking at?
Apart from the devastation?
Well, yes.
Right, so basically it's everything I'm going to use on Saturday morning.
Right.
Or actually all day Saturday.
Yep. I'll zoom in for you.
Right, so obviously the first leg is the swim, so we'll go through it sequentially. I'll have my skin suit on, or my tri-suit, with my Garmin heart rate monitor, and then over the top of that obviously I will have my Blue 70 Helix wetsuit, and I've got 2 pairs of goggles because I'm not sure which pair I'm going to use at the moment, and the swim cap that you have to wear, supplied by Ironman.
Do you wear another one?
Some people wear 2, it depends how cold the head gets. I don't bother with 2. Some people have 1 on, then the goggles, then the official cap over the top. I just have the 1 cap.
And how do you decide what goggles you're going to use?
It depends how bright it is on the morning, or how bright it's expected to be.
Right, and what have you got any thoughts about the weather?
It's supposed to be overcast, a bit breezy and rainy during mid-morning, but obviously everybody should be out of the water by then. So I'm probably going to go with like these blue tinted.
Okay.
Or I've got another pair which are just clear.
Right.
But I think probably the blue tinted, because it will get brighter during the day or during the morning.
Okay. Right. So next section, what have we got?
So once we obviously get out, and obviously the obligatory baby oil on the legs and arms before you put your wetsuit on. It just aids getting the wetsuit off.
Do you use those special gloves or those plastic bags that I sometimes see people using to get your wetsuit on?
Yeah, I have got some gloves. Don't always use them. It's just to stop your fingernails nicking the wetsuit, really.
All right.
Yep.
What's these, just before we move on, what are these bags? There's a red one and a blue one.
These are the gear bags that obviously all my bike gear will go into the blue one, blue for bike, and all the run gear will go in the red one, red for run.
Sorry everybody, you're now seeing my feet. I'll move the screen. Right, so moving on. We've done the swim.
So yep, out of the swim, run into transition, get changed, ready for the bike. So obviously keep the tri-suit on and the heart rate monitor, and always worth having a towel in your bag. Dry your feet, because trying to put socks on wet feet is pretty hard. One bit of a tip, which I suppose a lot of people know but some people don't know: roll your socks down like this, have them in your shoe, sprinkle baby powder inside the sock.
So not in the shoe?
Not in the shoe.
In the sock?
Inside the sock. It aids getting the sock on wet feet.
Oh, right.
So then some people have the shoes already attached to the bike. I don't. Yet that's a personal preference.
Yeah.
So on with the socks, on with the shoes, helmet.
Have you got a special one? Have you got one of those long ones, those aero-y ones?
Well, it is an aero helmet, but they're not long like they used to be years ago. But,
all right. And you've got a visor on there.
Yep, this is the Giro Hammer. I think it's Hammerhead.
Right.
But yep, it's got a magnetic visor, so when you're riding.
And if you didn't want to wear it, you could leave it in transition.
Oh, no. God, I hope I'm going to be quicker than this on race day. Oh, that's how
all right, okay. Yeah. All right. Okay, but you don't have to wear it on race day.
No. And sometimes you know, if you don't want it on while you're riding, you take it off and it clips on the top.
Now, I did just notice you've got a sticker on your helmet. How many stickers have you got in general? You've got one there.
Yeah, you have to have one on your helmet.
Yeah.
And then you have to have one on your bike.
I'm going to show that one now. Yeah. Okay. And that's on what part of your bike?
It's supposed to be on your seat pillar.
Right, okay.
But some of these modern tri-bikes, it's quite difficult to get them on the seat pillar.
Yeah.
So.
And you've got one on your run belt.
Yeah, on run belt, but we'll get to the run belt.
All right. Do you put one on your body as well?
Yes, you have what they call the tattoos. That goes on your arm, on your right arm.
Yeah.
It's supposed to go on your bicep, but with a lot of people nowadays having sleeve tri-suits, you're allowed to put them on your forearm.
So is that so people can tell who you are? Is that why you're wearing it?
Yes. Yeah.
Right, okay.
And you also have a letter tattoo that's supposed to go on your left calf.
Mm.
That indicates which age group you're in.
Right, okay. And that they just use that to organise you, do they, with the swim and things?
No, it's just your race number.
Okay.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. And also quite important, anti-chafe.
Right.
Some people use it, some don't. But you've got to remember it's a 180 kilometres bike.
Yeah.
And it can get a little bit.
And you were saying if you're wet, you can sometimes get rub as well.
Yes, yeah, because
I know it's due to be raining on Saturday.
Yeah, with a forecast of rain and quite heavy rain later in the morning and early afternoon, when most people will still be out on the bike, it can get a bit chafy.
So you basically put that on wherever you think you're going to chafe?
Yes.
Right, and that's under your garments? You just put it on?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Right.
So then, obviously 2 laps for the bike for 180 kilometres, come in, rack the bike.
Have you got any special modifications on your bike other than your number that you want to tell us about?
I'm using obviously my TT bike, which is the lovely Cervelo P3X with colour coordinated disc wheel.
Yep, very nice.
If the forecast is to be very windy, I'll change out the disc wheel, and I've got an 88mm deep rear wheel.
When you say very windy, have you got a number or is it just a sense?
For me, it's pretty much just a sense.
So you go out, you have a think about it, and then you change your wheel if you need to?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
But I will have to change it tomorrow or first thing Saturday morning.
Because you rack the bike on Friday?
Yeah, we have to rack the bike tomorrow.
So if it pulls up windy overnight, you've still got time to change from a disc to a deep wheel if you need to?
Yeah, I can change that
if you
Saturday
want to.
morning.
Right,
yes.
okay.
Yeah. So,
right.
Then...
and you've got your computer on there already, it looks like?
Yes, got the Garmin head unit.
Yep.
And I also use the Asioma power pedals.
Yep. And you've got 3 bottle cages on there?
Yep.
Is that enough for you, or do you...
Yeah, no, I'll have two bottles with electrolytes and 1 bottle with just plain water to wash down gels, and the aid stage, obviously when I finish 1 bottle, I'll dispose of that at an aid station and grab another bottle of either electrolytes or water.
Do you have a particular way you do your nutrition that you kind of plan in advance, or do you use special products, or?
I try to use whatever the on-course nutritionist is. Yeah. Which is Morten gels and Gatorade electrolytes.
And why do you try and do that?
Just so the gut gets used to it, because it's a lot of nutrition to carry all of your own for around 6 hours on the bike. So
do they also give out nutrition at food stations?
At the aid stations.
And they
yes.
give out Morton.
Yeah, there's Morton gels. There's.
Is there Gatorade as well?
Yeah, Gatorade, bananas. I think it's Cliff Bars as well.
Yeah.
So.
And you've obviously got your own other special things that you
Yeah,
like.
Yeah, and I'll plan on trying to consume about 75 grams of carb an hour. So
That's on the bike.
That's on the bike.
So you can't have anything obviously while you're swimming, but you can
No.
have something just before you swim.
Yeah.
Would you have breakfast even though it's quite early?
Oh yeah. Definitely have breakfast. I'll probably have Wheat Bix and a couple of rounds of toast.
About how early before the race would you have that?
Because we're starting at 7, I'll probably have breakfast latest about 5 o'clock.
Right, okay.
Just gives it time to settle in the stomach.
Yeah, okay.
And then between the 5 o'clock and 7 o'clock, just keep sipping on electrolytes, just to keep hydrated.
So you've got all your nutrition either on the bike or at the aid stations. What about the run? What's it like for the run?
Then when we come into the transition for the run, obviously rack bike, go into the changing tent.
Can I just come down and look at your equipment?
Yep. And obviously the transition from bike to run is generally quicker than it is swim to bike.
Because you don't have to take
You've got no
your
wetsuit off, and basically all you've got to do is rack your bike, take your shoes off, take your helmet off.
Have you got a big transition between swim and bike this time, Mike? Because traditionally in Taupo there was quite a run out of the water. There was about a 400 metres run. What's it like now?
It's probably about the same. It's
Oh, it seems like it's just across the road.
Yeah, it is, but we have to go all the way round the reserve and then back round, and a bit.
So you're going for a bit of a run before you get on your bike.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So when we bring the bike back in to transition for the run, obviously we've got to go and rack the bike, then run into the transition tent to change for the run. And basically that will be shoes off, helmet off. If it's been very wet, I've got a second pair of socks. I may use, I may not, depends how I feel.
Yeah.
Using the Nike Vaporfly.
And you like those?
Shoes. Yep.
Why do you like them?
Oh, they're very light. They're just a comfortable shoe to wear.
Have you used them a lot with your triathlons?
Yeah, I've done a couple of Ironmans in Vaporflies, and
you don't get sore feet?
no,
Okay.
no chafing or blisters or anything like that.
They're quite light, aren't they? So.
Yep, and obviously a second towel, because it's always good just to dry off it, especially if it's going to be wet. I was hoping it was going to be sunny, so I got a
But even
cap.
if it's a bit drizzly or a bit grey, would you still wear the hat in case you catch the sun?
Maybe. Yeah, I'll have it in my bag and decide
Yeah.
there and then whether I use it or not. And then run belt with number that you have to
Yeah.
use.
So you're going to take a belt with capacity to take other food as well, are you, or other fluid?
Yep, it's got a pocket on it, so I'll have some gels in that. I'll have some extra nutrition in the pockets of my tri-suit, and I will be carrying a bottle with me on the run, even though I can get fluids at aid stations. I just want to take some of my own so I can...
Right. Anything particular that you're going to be having in addition on the run? You'll probably be quite tired by then. Anything that you use to keep you mentally engaged or, happy? Do you use the aeroplanes or wiggly worms or anything? Sometimes people say they do that.
What I'll probably do is alternate between Morton gels and airplanes, and at some of the aid stations maybe some pretzels just to get the savoury as opposed to the sweet.
Do you think the salt will be useful for you? Do you
I
feel
think
you
so.
need to compensate for sweating?
Yeah, I think so, because even though it's going to be overcast and wet, it's still going to be about 19-20 degrees, so could be quite humid, so people could end up sweating a lot more than they anticipate.
Have you had experience with that and other Ironmen that you've done?
Yeah, we did Ironman Cairns in June, and I suffered a lot with dehydration.
Did you get cramp?
Oh yeah, I got cramp on the bike, and it was just a big learning curve. So yeah, just plenty of salt.
I saw a lot of people coming in looking like they'd sweated a lot.
Yeah.
On their suits, you could see it. So do you take salt with you? Salt repletion?
I've got some salt tabs with me, so yep.
So if you feel like you need some, you can take that.
Oh yeah, but the problem is when you feel like you need it, it's too late. Like a lot of nutrition, you need to be using it well before you think you need it.
So you're going to be using it as much as possible on the bike, so you come in in reasonable condition to do the marathon. Yeah,
because the main thing is everything's about getting to the marathon in good condition.
Yeah. And if you don't feel like eating when you're running, is there anything that you can do? Anything that you've done in the past that's helped you?
Nothing that's helped me. I've done plenty of things that hasn't helped me.
Right. Any of those to share with anyone?
Well, because I hadn't eaten enough on the bike, by the time it got to the run, I was just very nauseous, and I knew I needed to eat, but because I was nauseous, I didn't want to eat, so I didn't eat, and then it just compounds the issue.
So any advice for do what I say, not what I do? Keep eating on the bike, is that the basic?
Yeah. Basically fuel as much as possible on the bike.
Yeah.
Even if you don't feel hungry, you've still got to